All right, what's going on? It's time for Dmac SMaK for August 21st, 2025. Great moves by both the Rockies and the Broncos. Great moves. A shocking, somewhat perplexing development with the Rockies in terms of doing the right thing and winning big games. Amazing. We'll get to all of that in just a little bit. Yeah, pretty remarkable by both teams today that they just really nailed it. They got things right, and things are going their way as they do the right thing. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it in just a little bit, and we'll start off with the Broncos. We want to thank Journey Spice. You can go to the QR code right here and save yourself 10% by using the code 10Nuggets at Amazon.com. We love Journey Spice. Absolutely love them. The food tastes so much better with Journey Spice. No matter what you're putting on your plate, you put Journey Spice on top of it, it's going to taste so much better. From breakfast foods to dinner, doesn't matter. QR code, little salmon sandwich. That's what we have. QR code right there for you. Non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, flavor in, plastic out. Try it for yourself. And Journey Spice is always close to me, close to my stomach, and close to my heart because, well, there it is. Let's start with the Broncos, and we'll get to the Rockies and Shohei and Gomber and all that in just a little bit. But you want to talk about a savvy trade. It's impossible to get the ball to 6 wide receivers on your team. Impossible. And Vele, 6th-round pick that you got a 4th and a 7th for. That is amazing. 4th-round pick in 2026, a 7th-round pick in 2027 from the Saints. Outstanding. This was a player who was absolutely going to be signed by a team once he was cut. And if you're not cutting him, if you're keeping him because you're afraid that you're going to miss out, okay, that means another player who you think is going to play or possibly could contribute is not going to be on the team. And the weakness the Broncos have right now, and it's small, it's not a big weakness, but because you have Michael Burton injured, and yes, you did sign Adam Prentice as a fullback, but that's not going to be a full-time deal, I doubt. Nate Adkins is also out, and Burton and Adkins may miss time, likely will miss time in the regular season. So you have a position open as that like blocking tight end, fullback sort of thing, or just a flat out fullback. It's the one position on the team that you're likely going to add somebody who isn't on the Broncos. So getting any value, never mind a higher value than you originally selected Vele for, is tremendous. The Vele situation has come about because you really do like your draft pick, Pat Bryant, and the emergence of Troy Franklin, another higher draft pick than Vele, have both had very impressive training camps. Sherfield has been spectacular, and he was always going to be on the team because he was brought on more for special teams reasons, but come on now. I mean, it'd be foolish not to at least give him a shot out there. And now you really don't have to scratch anybody. Not really. Also, it gives you the ability, if you want, to carry 4 running backs. So likely Bidet and McLaughlin both make the 53, as well as Dobbins and RJ Harvey. Bad news for Audric Estime, but it is what it is. There's only so many carries to go around, and I would anticipate they would keep Estime and Blake Watson on practice squad if they can. If not, it's really not that big of a deal. This is a great move by George Payton. It makes perfect sense. There's a bit of irony that Vele goes to the Saints, and that's who the Broncos are playing on Saturday in preseason. But it's a really good move, guys. Really good move. So congrats to the Broncos on that, man. Sean Payton talks about the process of this time of the year in terms of trades.
The easy part is the fielding calls, because if they come, then you sit and discuss what call came. What happens a lot is the call that comes that's very open-ended. What are you guys looking for? What are we looking for? And you know that there's a target in their mind, and so. But I listen. I like the decisions we have to make, be it they're tough ones, and the process is still ongoing.
Okay, so maybe there's more. I don't know. Listen, if they could get trade value for Jaleel McLaughlin, that might be something. If you look on your team and you figure, well, this guy is likely, if we cut him, he is likely to not be available to us on practice squad, and he's going to sign somewhere else. Trade him if you can, if at all possible. So Vele was the second leading receiver in terms of catches on the Broncos last year. It's nuts. This is a great, great deal. And maybe some more to come, who knows? But the fact that they got this done, hey, man, gold star, A+, way to go, makes perfect sense to me. And then the Rockies did the right thing and a hard thing at the same time. We'll get to that in just a little bit. It is going to be a banger of a warm day today, high of like 99 degrees. The Broncos actually moved their practice to noon for some reason, and they were kind of dragging according to reports yesterday. So we'll see. They may go easy with the weather and who knows what. They have a game where the starters are going to play on Saturday, so getting after it today, although Sean said they would be in pads. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Make sure you're listening to the best Broncos coverage right here on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5, on the radio, on the digital. If you notice on the channel, there was instant reaction to the Vele deal. It happened during Nate and Andy's show, and then Andy and Scott got on it. They're reacting to it on the morning show. I'm reacting to it, obviously, right now. It's getting great grades across the board, but you don't have to go anywhere else. Just make sure you like and subscribe, and you'll have instant reaction to all the sports, Denver sports that you love best. Bam. Like that. We ain't waiting around. Whether it's the Avs, the Nuggets, the Rockies, and the Broncos, we got you covered. No doubt about it. Other Broncos news this week, Nick Bonito, despite my desires for compelling conspiracy talk, did reveal that, yeah, it's a foot.
Showed up in the 49ers practice, and it just, ever since then, it was kind of bothering me. Was trying to fight through the game, and like it felt like I told the trainers if I kept playing, I don't think I could have like really kept going on it. So it was just something where like we could either keep trying to fight through this throughout the season or have the procedure done and not worry about it. So I feel like with the trainers, what they told me and what coach told me, they were like I should get it done. So I have full trust in them, and that's what we ended up doing.
Did it feel fine today?
I'm still trying to get used to just my footing and moving around again and stuff like that, because I wasn't really able to this past week or so. So I'm still figuring my way out.
Okay. So it's a legit injury. Okay. And it was good. I'm glad the local Muggles did ask, has this got anything to do with the ongoing negotiations?
Yeah, I mean, they're going well. I feel like there's been good communication on both sides. I think, it's just my agent. I feel like he's one of the best in the game. I feel like I got to trust what he's doing, and knowing how they feel about me upstairs. I feel like something will get done, but it's just a matter of when. And, until then, I just got to keep doing me.
Do you feel like something is signed, you've signed, is there maybe more of a concerted effort that, hey, now we'll get Nick signed?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've pretty much, like, through the whole process, like, kept me, like, priority, knowing, they want to extend me, they want me here. it's just about, when they want to get it done and when, we're ready. So.
Okay. Feels like everything is going well. I guess I would be surprised if a new deal isn't done before the start of the season. Not much time left on that one, I know, but I guess it would surprise me if that was the case. If that wasn't the case, if he didn't sign. It feels like it's going in that direction. I don't know why he'd even be practicing if he didn't think that, hey, man, this is about to happen. There's so much money on the line. And he understands what his value is.
The edge market, it's just going to keep going up and up with the guys that are still needing to be signed. And just the position that I'm in, whether I was last year or the confidence that I feel I'm going to put myself in this year. So it's just kind of my favorite right now with that stuff.
He's got that right. No doubt about it. He is going to be a very, very wealthy man. So you just stay healthy. That's it. That's it. But you have no idea when you're going to get hurt. Listen, it's just that not many guys are on the precipice of such large money like Nick Bonito is now. So if he wants to roll out there and practice and the whole thing, okay, all right. I am just assuming, because it defies logic for him to take any risk at this point. I will assume that they're close and he anticipates getting a deal done before the season starts. That's all I can guess on, and it's just a guess, that's for sure. And my conspiracy theory goes out the door because he's back and practicing. It does make me wonder. Well, okay, it is what it is, and we'll track it as it goes. He's a huge positive for the Broncos and a core piece for their success moving forward. So we'll see. Meanwhile, yesterday, Joe Lombardi spoke about the development recently of Bo Nix.
Good, if you got in a rhythm and put together a drive or two, and just we're getting to the end. In this game, it'd be good, if you got in a rhythm and put together a drive or two, and just we're getting to the end of training camp and most of the installs in, so just tightening up the details, before we know we're going to be getting ready for that first game. So just continue on the path that he's on.
Okay. The reports yesterday that Bo was just kind of okay. Jarrett Stidham apparently wasn't that great. Again, it was more of a lethargic sort of practice. I think the heat is a factor. It's been warm for the past couple days, and today may be it's one of the warmer days of the entire summer today, as it's going to get close to 100 degrees. So tough being out there in the football pads and all that. But, hey, this is what they get paid to do. So we'll see where Sean goes with the practice today. He explained what's left for the team.
All these snaps, they all factor, when they're out on the field together. And so we got this week, we got Saturday, and then obviously a few days next week, then we're leading into the game, and then there's going to be that growth at the start of the season. But I do think it's a good question, and I'd be curious to hear their response.
Okay, well, we'll see. We shall see. Broncos at the Saints early on Saturday. Then they have until Tuesday to make all the cuts. And I think most of the guys, I don't think there's any big surprises right now. A lot of it is it, 5 or 6 receivers. We know now it's 5. So the Michael Bandys of the world, maybe you're lucky enough to make practice squad. How many running backs? I think it's going to be 4 now. So I think Bidet and McLaughlin make it. Bad news for Watson and SMaK, I think. We shall see. You got a slew of defensive linemen, and we're talking about, does Wazirike make the team? And is PJ Locke okay? These are all really deep guys. And I don't see any significant veteran cuts. This Vele deal is really, I'm telling you, it's savvy, it's excellent, and it, releasing Tim Patrick only to see him sign with Detroit. I mean, I get why they did it. Primarily because of Vele. So I do understand it. It just was painful to get nothing for him, to see him go and play pretty well with the Lions. Well, that's not the case with Vele now. And guess what? The Saints are going to suck next year. So that 4th round pick, or this year, and the 4th round pick for them is, going to be relatively high in the 4th round. So we'll see. It's good. It's good. It's good. We'll get to the Austin Gomber Rockies situation, and there's some, hey, man, I get it, man. You may not want to admit positive things about the Rockies. It seems painful for some people to say anything good about the Rockies because of their distrust and, frankly, hatred of the ownership. Okay, but I'm just going to lay it out for you why what the Rockies are doing is different. And all anybody wanted was for them to operate different. We'll get to that in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Yeah, we love you, Journey Spice. Flavor and plastic out. Use the code 10nuggets at amazon.com to save yourself 10%. There it goes. It's there. There it is right there. Bam. And again, for you to easily access it, there's the QR code. Hit that and you're all set. We love you, Journey Spice. You are the best. Okay, the Rockies. We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about what do you do when a player has lost it. And in this specific case, it's 31, soon to be 32-year-old Austin Gomber, who was the most significant acquired piece in the Nolan Arenado trade. And if you want to say that trade didn't work out for either team, you'd probably be right. I mean, what have the Cardinals really done since they got Nolan? And certainly Gomber hasn't been anything special for the Rockies. Now, being bad, which Gomber has been all year, and then admitting that you're just terrible and you have no confidence, I think is two different things. So here was Gomber after getting, now you got to understand the Rockies have been playing well, really well. They've been getting really good starting pitching, fielding better, winning games. Yes, since the All-Star break, they mixed in an 8-game losing streak where they looked terrible. But I do wonder if that was a little bit of a reaction to what happened at the trade deadline, where Ryan McMahon was gone. Veterans like Tyler Kinley and Bird were gone. But you know what the Rockies didn't do? They didn't deal Victor Vodnik or Seth Halverson because they set a bar for what their value was. And when they didn't get that value for them, they didn't capitulate and just panic. And I'm glad they kept Vodnik and Halverson. I think Halverson and Vodnik could be a significant part of the future. Juan Mejia, great if he can develop and keep going this way. Jaden Hill gave up a couple runs last night, but he's a good-looking young pitcher. I hope the best for him. Hergert's been terrific. Agnos has been out. We'll see when he returns. But starting pitching from Kyle Freeland's been exceptional. Sensatella's been much better, even though he was so bad for such a huge part of the season. We know Marquez can pitch. Dolander has been better since growing a beard and coming back from working in the lab. It's not the most top-shelf pitching staff in the world, but it certainly has been better. And it certainly has been good enough where Gomber's poor outing stood out like a sore thumb. Giving up 7 runs in 3 innings when they needed starting pitching to burn innings, and they eventually lost 11-4 to the Dodgers. But if you take out Gomber's 3 terrible innings, they played the Dodgers straight up for 6 of the 9 innings. It had been 4-4 if you take out Gomber's 7 terrible innings. So after the game, Gomber had this to say.
Oh, yeah, just making bad pitches, just feel like I'm in a tough spot right now. It sucks to let the team down, and, more specifically the bullpen for sure. We needed more length than that. I just couldn't provide it. I just feel like I'm just a little bit lost out there right now. Don't really have any confidence, conviction. Really don't really have like an identity of what I'm trying to do. So just trying to figure it out, man. It's kind of, is what it is.
These are brutal things to admit, and he would go on.
Like I said, it just doesn't, and I don't really have a lot of like belief in what I'm doing. So just kind of like searching, as we go. So it's a tough place to be, out there trying to, figure out what's going to work on the fly. But that's just kind of what I have right now. So, we're trying to find something to like grab onto and go with. But right now I'm just struggling to find that.
Health-wise?
Yeah, this is a guy who makes over $6 million. This is a guy who they got in the Nolan Arenado trade. I mean, and we had a deep conversation. While you can feel empathy for the player, what's the right move by the organization? There's only 6 weeks left, and he's a free agent in 2026. Now, listen, I think the Rockies of the past would have, it's okay, and you're one of our guys, and hang in there, and whatever, and probably stuck him out on the mound. Because, let's face it, the season's in the crapper. What do we got to lose? We paid this money for the guy, okay. But then the baseball side of me says, well, listen, if you're going to lose anyway, I guess, if you're all right with losing as an organization and winning matters, why would you put this guy out on the mound again? I feel bad for him as a human. That's a low place to be, obviously. And likely this is the end of his baseball career if we release him. Who else is going to give this guy a shot? But if you care about winning, sometimes in sports it's a little bit cold-hearted, or you have to think like that. Can this player help us win or not? And it's not like the Rockies haven't released veteran players this year. They have. They've done that. And then they did it yesterday to Austin Gomber. And I applaud him for it. As a human, you feel bad for him. But as a player, even though you spent all that money on him, you needed to move on. And putting him back out there would be signaling to your team you don't really care that much about winning. And while, sure, man, good luck. I hope that you can figure it out. The degree of sorriness I feel for somebody making over $6 million who doesn't know what they're doing anymore is pretty minimal. So the Rocks made the right move, and they released Gomber. And it's tough. It's the way it goes. It shows that your Colorado Rockies care about winning, even at this late stage of the season when all hope is lost, and certainly they'll be the worst team in the league this year. However, look how they are playing. They won last night 8-3. And not only did they win against the Dodgers, who are 35 games ahead of them in the NL West, that means they, at the worst, will push the series because they have another game this afternoon at 1 o'clock. To win 2 out of 3 games over the Dodgers is remarkable to me. And the pitcher for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani against the arguably contending to be the worst team of all time, Rockies. 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned, only 3 strikeouts, threw a lot of strikes. 66 pitches, 50 strikes. So that means 3 strikeouts. That's it. And the Rockies were swinging the bat. And in the 4th inning, they had 5 hits in a row, all singles off Shohei, just moving that train around, scoring the runs that they did. and Arcia blasted a liner that smashed him in the upper thigh. And I'm glad it didn't hit bone. I'm glad it wasn't on his kneecap. He did finish the inning and get 2 more outs, but he was unable to continue as a pitcher. He took 1 more at bat and walked, and then was pinch hit for late in the game. Rockies scored 2 off Ohtani in the second, 3 in the fourth. They chased him out of the game. You got incredible starting pitching from Tanner Gordon, who in 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run earned, 3 strikeouts, a walk, gave up a home run. But are you kidding me? Tanner Gordon, who, by the way, is 4-5. This is where Austin Gomber was 0-7 and just absolute crap. The remarkable numbers about Shohei and the Rockies here, it's the first time that Shohei has suffered a loss as a pitcher in 2 years. The last time being July 14th, 2023. It puts the Rockies at 37-90, 5 games away from the magical 42 wins, which would mean they're not the worst team of all time, even though they are likely to finish with the worst record this year. And if you want to look at the season in total, yes, it's a disaster. But if you want to look at life since the All-Star break, they're 15-16. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, which is best in the National League West. There's only 4 teams in the league who have a record like that or better than the Rockies. They are playing the second hardest schedule in Major League Baseball right now with the second youngest team. There is no reason why the Rockies, who were so dismal before the All-Star break, there's no real reason, and they endured an 8-game losing streak since the All-Star break. There's no reason they should be playing this well. But yet they are. So how? Why? What exactly is going on? Warren Schaefer about Ohtani.
5 runs against Ohtani, give him his first loss in 2 years. Offense really built momentum. Was there anything that you saw out of him that your guys were able to take advantage of with those 2 big innings?
I just think that we had a good plan against him, and we executed our plan throughout the day. He went soft a lot, and it seemed like the boys didn't spit on balls outside of the zone. Kept them in the zone, and just executed their plan. Took the ball the other way. Took what was given to him. That's been a huge key for us is taking balls the other way and not trying to yank everything, which early in the year I think we were doing a lot of. Just taking our hits the other way, moving the line. I think that plays.
You talked before the game about how important it was for Tanner.
All right, yeah, let's not snooze on that. The Rockies only struck out, only 6 times to 1 walk. There were games the Rockies were striking out 12, 13, 14 times. Dealing Ryan McMahon and not playing Michael Toglia, as he, will come back to the team perhaps at some point, has been gargantuan because those 2 were strikeout merchants. And that's gone. The hits off of the Rockies had 16 hits yesterday, and the vast majority were singles. There was a double from Goodman, Doyle, and Bernabel. No home runs. So you just had 13 singles. Okay. But that is not striking out. That is putting the ball in play, hitting it where they aren't. Happy with moving the train. This is a different approach and a different result. A lot of people say, oh, well, let's get the Blake Street Bomber mentality back. What you really want is to get on base and produce runs. You want to hit a base hit with 2 outs. You want to score runners in scoring position. They left 8 guys in base, but with runners in scoring position, they were 6 for 15. And 5 of those 8 runs came off Shohei Ohtani. If you can't realize that this is, I've heard some people say, oh, yeah, well, it's the dog days. The games don't matter. Baloney. The Dodgers are in a dogfight with the Padres for first place in the NL West. The Cardinals are battling for a playoff spot, as the Diamondbacks are too. Yeah, you got killed by the Blue Jays, and that wasn't great. And I certainly had my doubts about where the team was going, and it just felt like, okay, this is where you nosedive. I've put this out there. If they were to not win 42 games, I would do the walk of shame from basically Park Meadows Mall, where our radio station is, to Coors Field. It's a smooth 18 miles. Shame, shame, shame. You could ring the bell like Game of Thrones. You could throw things at me. All of it. They're 5 wins away from achieving that. And I talked to a Rockies insider. They're not concerned about that. They're not thinking about it. They're really just trying to put together good games, one game at a time. And it's Clayton Kershaw on the bump today for the Dodgers. To think that the Rockies would beat the Dodgers 3 out of 4 games. Don't forget, coming into this series, they had lost to the Dodgers 10 times in a row. They won the season series against the Cardinals. They haven't done that since 2009. And that's the trade they made for Austin Gomber, Nolan Arenado. They won the season series over the Cardinals this year. The Diamondbacks, as well as the Blue Jays, were a significant part of their 8-game losing streak, and they took the series from them. It's different. It's just different. And Schaefer's noticing, yes, of course, there's huge amounts of fans from the other team at every game. It feels like a home game for the Dodgers. But recently, the fans have even come out more for the Rockies.
I've seen the Dodgers come into Coors Field and dominate the Rockies a lot in recent years. But for you guys to play as well as you've played in this series, but more than that, to get the fans loud on your side, did you notice that? Was that kind of a cool thing, knowing how the Dodgers tend to make themselves at home here?
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I did hear our fans tonight, and I'm thankful for that. But yes, I mean, we're just trying to, every day, Patrick, just like we've been doing, just stack games on top of each other, stack the way we're playing on top of each other, our effort level, our style of baseball. We believe that works, and it's good that we're seeing some results from it.
Okay, Rockies have one more game against the Dodgers, a day off, and then I think a day off, and then they are on the road against Pittsburgh, and yeah, man, and if you don't think 15 and 16 is a big deal since the All-Star break, you're insane. To be tracking to be the worst team of all time and then playing at the same pace that playoff teams are playing, that doesn't happen. Sorry, they do not have a day off. My bad. So they play the Dodgers today, and then tomorrow they are in Pittsburgh, and then three against Pittsburgh, and then they do have Monday off, and then they have 3 at Houston before coming home against the Cubs next weekend, and I'm sure that series will be packed. You got the Cubs in San Fran, and then San Diego. It's not, and then the Dodgers after that, then San Diego again. Come on, man. This is not an easy schedule. We'll see how it all sorts itself out. I mean, they tail dive into another 8-game losing streak. It'll be disappointing. But clearly they're not going to win less than 42 games. I mean, it's virtually impossible at this point. And that's just the truth. And you can hate the Montforts and ownership all you want, but it doesn't escape the truth. And for people to go out there and just say, look at the, yeah, I get it. The year in total is terrible, obviously, duh. But why in the world couldn't they sustain what they have going since the All-Star break into next year? I have no idea why they couldn't sustain it. No idea. I'm nominating Joe Girardi for the Rocks manager. He knows Coors Field. No connection to the Monforts. Very experienced. Well, I'll tell you this. You got to see how the rest of the season plays out, and it's going to matter. But if Warren Schaefer is able to produce a second half where the Rockies finish at 500, over 500, or I mean a pinch under 500, I have no doubts he should be the manager next year. And I have not always felt that since he replaced Bud Black. I certainly thought Bud Black should be fired. And this is certainly proof of what I've been saying for more than 2 years, that it's not that, oh, the Rockies are terrible, they don't have a roster, you can't do anything with them. It's not Bud's fault. A lot of it was Bud's fault. A lot. Good morning to you, Wes. Thank you. RJ, we almost made it to Broncos season. We're close. It's a painful drag in the final home stretch to get to the season, and then we're in nirvana. But we're close, RJ. Gomber, the crown jewel of the Nolan trade. Yeah, I don't wish any ill will on him whatsoever. Can you compare the Broncos front office to the Rockies Vele trade versus Arenado deal? Yeah, listen, the Broncos front office also did the Russell Wilson deal, which is incredibly equivalent to the Arenado deal. So, listen, I'm glad the Broncos have done what they've done. But the reason why they look so good is because you drafted a quarterback in the first round, and you don't have to swim in his salary, drown in his salary like you do. I mean, you will eventually, but that is the gargantuan advantage of drafting a quarterback in the first round. For 5 years, because eventually he'll sign an extension. So perhaps for however you manage it, you get to do what the Broncos have done. Now, you got to be smart and make the right things happen, and you got to have confidence and hit upon your draft picks. All that is critically important. But you can't do it if you don't draft a quarterback. You're lost. And George Payton did not understand that importance, and it wasn't all smooth sailing. But of late, it's been great. And it's been great, and you can be great because you drafted a quarterback, and Bo Nix has been tremendous. So that's how that works. And then you get a little lucky. Vele trade brought more value than what was spent. Arenado trade set the Rockies back half a decade. Yeah, but I mean, you can make the argument that the Russell Wilson deal set the Broncos back too. But not the NFL's just different. The NFL with its salary cap, and it's so much easier to get over a mistake in the NFL than in baseball. And the Arenado deal, I mean, it didn't do anything for the Cardinals. It didn't do anything for the Rockies. I mean, it did nothing for nobody. Sitting in a coffee shop listening, I'm going to keep my eye out for people staring at the wall. It came up yesterday on No Dumb Questions. If you see somebody at a Starbucks and they're not reading a book, they're not looking at a tablet or a phone, and they're just having a coffee staring off into space, are they a psychopath? Our feeling was actually yes. I wish Schaefer well, but Bud set a very low bar. Well, there's no doubt about it. Let's ride. I wish they could get rid of Chris Bryant's boat anchor contract. It is a major stumbling block. Well, there's no place for Chris Bryant, and however they handle it, whatever. But that's the key to getting production out of young players. It kind of doesn't matter. And the production you're getting out of, we can go around the diamond if you want, Kyle Karras, Tovar, Ritter, Burnable, Beck, Moniak, Doyle, Freeman. You could throw Yanquiel Hernandez in there if you wanted to. Certainly Hunter Goodman's been incredible. I like Fulton instead of Nola. That makes more sense to me. Jacob Stallings was the other veteran catcher they dumped. So they dumped Stallings. They eventually dumped Nola. They got rid of Kinley. They got rid of Bird, who was falling apart. They got rid of grumpy, pissed off, striking out Ryan McMahon. They did dump all the older guys who were doing nothing for them. And Gomber joins that trash pile. So if you want to just hate the Montforts and hate everything, fine. Nothing I can do to stop you. But if you're hating on this young, energetic, pretty gutsy, resilient team, then you're just a hater. And you're hating for hate's sake. And I actually kind of feel bad for you, because what's happening right now with this team right now is pretty damn exciting. But whatever. You do what you do you. Dmac is the only one in Denver talking sense. And now I have hope for next April. Dang it. Good. I'm both surprised and impressed with the kids coming up. I'll tell you this. This is such an exciting team to watch. And they're going to set a record likely for most losses in franchise history, which I think stands at 103. So, but yeah, every game is exciting. And sure, some games are going to get away from you. That happens to every major league team. But to try to understand why and how a team was so bad is playing at the same level against tough competition as playoff level teams. And I understand it doesn't say, 15 and 16 Dmac. I mean, but you got to look at the records of, let me just do this real quick. Really quick. Last 10 games. Let me look at playoff teams you got to understand the Rockies are 7-3 in their last 10 games. 15 and 16 overall, because they have that stingy 8-game losing streak in there since the All-Star break. Dodgers 4-6 last 10. Padres 6-4. Brewers, who won 100 games in a row, they're 6-4 in the last 10, as are the Cubs. Phillies 6-4. Mets 4-6. Astros 4-6. Mariners 3-7. Tigers 8-2. There you go. Royals 7-3. Blue Jays, who killed the Rockies, 6-4, and the Yankees are hot. They're at 8-2. While the Red Sox, who are scraping for a playoff spot, are 3-7. You want to say it's the dog days? Whatever. How are the Rockies doing it? I just listed off basically the main playoff teams this year, and the Rockies have the same record as the Royals and are just one game behind the Tigers. And they're one game behind the Yankees too. So in the last 10 games, the 4 best teams in Major League Baseball by record are the Yankees, Tigers, Royals, and the Rockies. Killing you with that truth. Thank you to Journey Spice. Have a great day. On from noon to 3 with Tyler and Scott Hastings to talk about Vele, the Gomber deal, and we'll see. Whatever happens, we got it for you on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.